I'm not vain enough to be noticing what my
No, I think you noticed. You just weren't telling me, John.
No,
What
I
kind of
mean,
friend are
my
you?
own hair. I'm talking about someone else's vanity. Uh, okay,
So
so enough of that. Yeah.
be sure to check in. We'd love to hear from you and see you. And while we're getting people checked in and saying hello, John Loftman, the question is, will you come back someday and hang with me again
Oh.
after spending 2 days with me?
What was in that call? You're actually inviting me back? Yes, I would love to come back.
Would you?
I'd love to, talk about, things biblical that we often think are secular.
So many times we got text messages this week of people talking about how much they've loved watching you over the years here in our local market. We just got a text from Fred.
Yeah, it's been a lot of years I've been here. Yeah.
Fred in Lorraine said he grew up watching you.
Yeah, I know. I got that too. Jason Nicholas, a number of years ago, Jason who works with me, and yeah, we were doing the Transit of Venus a number of years ago. We were down, doing live shots together, and he was just beginning, and I walked up to him and I said, Jason, hey, I'm glad to see you on the air. You're doing a great job. He was with a competitive station. And we're not really competing. And he was with another station. And he said, oh, yeah, I know who you are. I've been watching you since I was a little kid. And it was
How did that feel?
Yeah, and I was like,
You're like, thank you, Sonny. Thank you, Sonny. I
It
appreciate
was
that.
a wonderful left-handed compliment. So I've been a little fossilized. I've been here for a while, enjoying myself and being in my hometown, and it's good to be here.
So Mike is saying happy Friday. Happy Friday, Mike. We've got Scott Lessing, Pastor Scott Lessing, who was filling in yesterday. You remember hearing him. He said, love that you guys played Maverick City, Man of Your Word. Yeah, he loves Maverick City worship. And brought that up to me off the air yesterday. Good seeing you, Pastor.
Do you have a favorite musical group? I mean, somebody that you really.
Are we talking Christian or secular? What
No,
are we
we're talking. Well, I do both. Now that you mentioned it, how about both?
Okay, so Christian. Boy, it's a tough call. I really like the Winans. I like BB Winans a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to pick a favorite because it goes more by song than artist for me.
Yeah, so certain songs by a particular artist are really hit home with you.
But I like the Katinas a lot. Katinas are really good. I like. What do I like?
If you had to narrow it down to one group that you were just, that was it, man. These are the people I listen to. Who would it be? I'm just curious. I don't mean to put you on the spot.
So now you're broadening it, right?
Yeah, yes, exactly.
So for me, I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but they started off in the East Bay of Oakland, California, in the 1960s. They're called Tower of Power.
Peter, Paul, and Mary. Oh, not Peter, Paul.
Tower of Power. It's they're a soul funk R&B band, horn band, that's been around for over 50 years now.
Christian?
No, they're a secular band.
Oh, okay.
Although I had a chance to interview the band leader, and he is a follower of Jesus, and a couple of them in the band are as well. We had a great discussion about it, but they've been doing funk soul R&B music for years. Did songs that on the charts in the 70s is primarily when they hit the charts. With You're Still a Young
Funk
Man.
music. Who knew that?
So Very Hard to Go. What is Hip? Things like that. So
wow.
That's that. But
I go back to the days of Rich Mullins and Petra.
Oh, I love Rich Mullins.
Yeah, Rich Mullins.
Hold Me Jesus is one of my favorite songs.
Oh, mine too. And your Big Daddy Weave does that.
They do a great version of that song.
Yes, does a great version of that tune. But I'm Shane and Shane just.
They're
really,
great, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's just especially because they use a choir often, and you just look at those people and you just go, wow, the Holy Spirit is bouncing off this place. It's incredible. So and they do a lot of variations. They don't do the same style all the time.
Yeah,
which is kind of cool.
My favorite of theirs is the acoustic version of "There Is None Like You."
Yeah.
By Shane and Shane. Really beautiful version of that old hymn.
Huh.
So good. What else we got going here? We got Sandy says she's enjoyed hearing Jannelle this week. Yes, come back again.
Sandy, yeah. It's been a pleasure to be here. It's been a blessing to
Brian
be here.
and Jannelle. I think that just sounds good.
Yeah.
Amy says, good morning. Hey, Amy. Anita, Mrs. First Lady Anita Morrison of our good friends Why is the church escape? Hope Alliance Bible Church in Maple Heights. Boy, it's Friday.
Okay.
She says, "Good morning. It's been a good week." I totally agree. Angela said, "I've never get to watch overtime. Happy to be here today." Brian has tattoos.
Well, welcome. Yeah, thanks for joining us then, if you never get to watch.
Brian does have tattoos. John does too, but he can't show you on television, right, John? Is that your...
Right. They're in places that we should not go.
No, okay, so
that's a lyric from a James Taylor tune, I think. Yeah.
Is it? I love James Taylor, by the way.
Oh, me too. He's my favorite secular.
He did a live album in like the 90s. He does all of his hits acoustic live. Oh boy, it's amazing.
Yeah.
If you haven't heard it, you need to hear it.
Yeah, the irony is he, he's a Jew. I think he's just a cultural Jew.
Yeah.
But his Christmas album is like really good. And
I believe it. He's just got this
it's
unique, soft, sweet voice.
Yeah.
His guitar playing is so good. His songwriting's amazing.
Yeah. Most of the time, once in a while, he throws in some lyrics that are not Christian, but
once in a while he does. Yeah.
Yeah,
So to answer Angela's question, yes, I do.
Okay.
Right now, I have 2 tattoos. My wife is always surprised when I roll up my sleeves because she knows some Christians get uncomfortable with that. I don't. This one is an abstract representation of Psalm 127, a quiver full of arrows. The man's blessed who has a quiver full of arrows.
yeah, and you have all these children.
I have 5 kids.
Yeah,
So
sure.
it's an arrowhead, basically, a unique design of one that has 5 stripes, one for each kid. I didn't do 5 arrows because that's a lot of arrows. Number 2, I don't want to have people go, "Oh, you love archery," and me go, "No, I don't love archery."
Yeah, this is a whole different thing.
This is a different thing. And then this one is obviously a microphone. Hopefully, obviously.
Why do you have a microphone? What the
I don't
heck
know.
is that?
And at the bottom, there's Roman numerals 12 and 2. And it's that God's kind of given us the mission from Romans 12:2 here on the radio station. I heard in a sermon when I first got here that we got to let God change the way we think. And so part of our mission here is to help people transform the way they think into how God thinks. So I kind of...
Be more like Christ, which is the whole objective. That will, thank goodness for eternity, because it'll take probably more than that to get me to be more like Christ.
Right.
So
that's why I have those. And also it makes me look exceptionally tough and rugged.
yeah,
Right?
which is a chore, but I mean, well, no, I'm sorry. I mean, candor is something that we're not required to be candid. We even, if the truth is the truth. Okay, so
Should we get matching tattoos? The weather?
yeah, no. Hey, I'll tell you a cool tattoo story.
I would love to hear a cool
Well,
tattoo
I mean,
story.
it's just because I was so, anybody who's known me for 5 minutes knows that I'm a big fan of what the world calls football, right? This spherical thing. The world kicks around, and you think the Super Bowl is big. I mean, the World Cup, it ain't nothing. It's unbelievable. People, Ghana was in the World Cup a few years ago, and they told the people that, hey, we're going to have to ration electricity in order for you to hear and watch the World Cup games, and most of them don't have TVs, so they, and they said, okay, yeah,
no one cared.
no worries.
Turn off the power.
We need to, turn off the power. We need to watch. So, the guy who's scored more goals for anybody for the U.S. national team is a guy named Clint Dempsey. Ironically, just coincidentally, at the same college that Amy Grant went to, Furman.
Really?
Yeah. And so
I had no idea.
yeah, it was a little college in Greenville, South Carolina, Furman University. Anyway, Dempsey he's a big Texas boy who just, I mean, you do not go up against Dempsey because you
Sounds like me.
Yeah,
Sounds like
exactly.
that. Yeah.
And looks like you ought to look him up. He looks a little like you. Anyway, this guy is fierce. He's just retired. I'm making this a long story. Anyway, he would be the last guy to stay signing soccer balls for kids and their shoes and stuff. And I was down on the pitch. I had a media pass, and so I was watching a U.S. national team game.
Wow.
Down there. Yeah, which, oh boy, talk about thrilled. And he was reaching his arm up to sign, and of course he's in a short sleeve shirt, and I see a tattoo wrapped around the guy's bicep, and it's the 23rd Psalm.
Huh?
And he's, and I took a picture of it because we were closer than you and I are.
Right.
And I just thought, wow, who would never have guessed? The way he plays, that he's a follower, and
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. Anyway.
No, I mean,
but-
I was going to get one of those bicep, like barbed wire things, but they
Yeah.
don't have enough ink at the shop I went to get all the way around my bicep, John. So I skipped that
Oh,
one.
he won't
Hey-o.
be here all weekend, folks. So, but still, don't forget to tip your waitress and enjoy the veal.
I brought up Tower of Power earlier. Kelly is asking, are they similar to Earth, Wind, and Fire? Kinda. They're more on the funk edge than kind of the pop edge that they were, that Earth, Wind, and Fire was like, but kinda. First Lady Anita Morrison remembers Tower of Power. Awesome. They're fantastic. They're one of my favorite groups. I've met a bunch of the guys in the band. Blah, blah, blah. Some of you are bored by that. Rachel says her favorite Rich Mullins song was "Oh God, You Are My God and I Will Ever Praise You." Yeah.
Yeah,
He also wrote "Awesome God."
yeah. My God is an awesome.
I just don't like the verses of that
He
song.
reigns from heaven
God was
above.
the putting on the Ritz part. I'm just like,
Yeah.
Rich, I don't like that part. Just stick to the chorus. Most people only sing the chorus of that song
Huh? Yeah.
in church. It's a great song.
And I think that's the second verse, isn't it?
When God wasn't,
It's
what
putting
God
on the
wasn't
Ritz.
joking when He kicked him out of Eden. I just kind of like, Rich, yeah, you've done better than that.
Okay.
God bless you.
Well, all right.
Sorry, John, I won't make you associate
So
with that.
yeah, no, it's okay. I like Rich. It was tragic that we lost him in it.
Yeah, isn't that terrible?
Yeah.
Much too young.
Yeah, really, and God had other plans for him. Maybe he's probably making music in heaven. I'm sure he is.
You better believe it.
So that's all good. I had the privilege of interviewing for a short time Michael Card, who's a big moody. He's a moody guy,
Oh, yeah.
and man, talk about lyrics.
Prolific
And how-
songwriter.
Yes, I mean, wow.
He wrote El Shaddai, didn't he?
Yeah, no. Yes, I know Amy Grant performed it most.
I think he wrote it.
Yeah, I think he wrote it. Yeah, I think he did. You're right.
He's kind of like the Barry Gibb of Christian radio.
Yeah,
You know, Barry Gibb from the Bee Gees wrote all those pop songs
yeah,
other people sang.
right.
Michael
Yeah.
Card's a prolific writer.
Well, yeah, so Carole King wrote You've Got a Friend, and James Taylor, everybody goes, oh, it's James Taylor's tune.
But it's Carole King.
But it's Carole King.
She was a genius.
Yeah, she was.
My Aunt Twee is here. Twee Leach is here. Good to see her again. She likes my tattoos. Thanks, Aunt Twee. You're kind of biased, though. You're related to me. You have to. Angela has one, so she's not offended. I love that. Angela, I know Angela. She's great. She's been a supporter and listener to this radio station for many years.
Thank
We had
you,
a chance to
Angela.
meet once.
For being the supporter.
Angela loves Michael Card. Mike's favorite contemporary song is "This Is Amazing Grace." Yeah, that's
Phil
Phil Wickham.
Wickham. Yeah.
Great
Yeah.
song.
This is Amazing Grace. Yeah, that is. That's a great tune.
So, John, that's the question. I
is
could do
so-
like a good evening. It's 5 o'clock. Here's your top story.
Yeah, the thing
Come on.
is.
You hear that?
Well, yes.
I even leaned on the table.
That was great. So
You
can
mean
you
the
be
tape?
on the air for 8 hours straight, and during the commercial breaks, make sure you Instagram, tweet, and Facebook Live, and post a video for the web, and come back, and even as soon as we're out of the 3-minute break, and keep going. Brian, okay, so when I started, folks, this was shortly after I got off the maybe it was the Ark. I can't remember which. No, it was the Mayflower. Back in the day, there were three. It was NBC, ABC, CBS. It was all analog and it was all antenna. And I started in the 37th of the 210 television markets on the air
Sorry.
with a. Thanks, Brian.
Sorry. Ruined your story.
With magnets on a board. So if I wanted to move high pressure from Iowa to Illinois, I picked up the magnet and I moved it over. Now on a computer you can't do that. It takes a lot longer on a computer. But if you have magnets on a board, so ABC, NBC, CBS, 6 o'clock news, 11 o'clock news. The weather person is on for 2.5 to 3 minutes, depending on whether it's active weather or it's partly cloudy, partly cloudy, partly cloudy, and that's it. You go into the station and you prepare for a few hours and you're on the air for 2.5 minutes, and then you go to dinner and you come back at 10:30, and you move the magnet from Iowa to Illinois because high pressure moves west to
You
east.
get to go to dinner for a couple hours.
Yeah, and you go to dinner, and you come back, and you do 2.5 minutes at 11 o'clock, and you go home, and you do it again Monday through Friday. That's
That's a great gig right there.
Yeah, that's a great gig. And now it's like I mentioned this on the air earlier. The newscasts begin at 4 a.m. on one station and 4:30 a.m. on the others, and they're pretty much all day long. At my station, it's 4:30 a.m. and then that goes until 7. At 7, we do a Facebook Live, the likes of which we're doing right now, to 7:30 or thereabouts, with cut-ins on CBS in the morning to cut in, the local news and weather on the morning show.
Yeah.
And then pick it up at 9 to 9:30 with another newscast, and then do another newscast from 11 a.m. to noon, and a noon to 12:30, and then pick it up at 3 o'clock with a 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock newscast, a 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock newscast, a 5 o'clock to 6:30 newscast, and then pick it up with a 7:30 to 8 newscast before we go on at 10 o'clock for a newscast for an hour, and then the 11 o'clock news, which ends at 11:30. And in between, Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and update the web and record a little thing to, put onto the weather app. And
I'd prefer the whole 2.5 minutes dinner, 2.5 minutes thing. Could you arrange that for me? And I could just come on and be the guy that says,
honestly, that's
this is your 5 o'clock news.
right. And
No.
we'll be back after. Don't touch that dial. I used that one time on the air, and
Did you?
yeah, and people were like, "What's that?
What's a dial?
Don't touch that dial."
You and I could do a newscast together, John.
Yeah, we could. It would be. We're doing a little kind of a TV thing here right now.
In fact, welcome back to the show. It's 9:22. Here's John Loftman with the latest weather.
Yeah. Okay. Here's an interesting story. He was. I'm looking at Kathy down at the very bottom there.
Yeah. I think what were we? I think they were talking about Rich Mullins, weren't they?
No, I think it could have been James Taylor.
Yeah, I don't know.
He was a complicated Jew. Could be. Okay, maybe.
And we did have, by the way, my guy Charles. He's very funny, and he said, "Great topic this morning. I think you should reach out to your friend. I think silence equates complicit to that point of view." Talking about the email exchange, or no, the Facebook exchange.
Yeah.
I tend to agree with you on that, Charles. My plan is, Lord willing, to go sit down and when we're done here, and reach out to her.
Right. And there's this invention that not that long ago, actually, this guy named Bell, Al Bell.
Related to Kirsten Bell, the voice from
No,
Frozen?
I don't
No?
think so. But he came up with this way that actually people in two different places far away can actually talk to each other and listen.
Get out of here.
Listen and talk.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, they can't. I mean, he had a buddy named Watson that he started. Yeah, and so you can actually pick it's a little device you hold in your hand and you speak into it, and there's a place to hear. Anyway, just a real advocate of.
I'll have to find that guy.
Al Bell's invention, because I do that with my kids, Brian. It's back and forth. It's like, okay, look.
Call your father.
Really? Yeah, just talk to me. I don't have to sit here and text, and sometimes it doesn't come out right. What was it the other day? You said something about Lee and Biggie
Yeah,
showed up.
I was going to say love you, hottie. Auto-corrected to love you, Biggie.
Yes.
Which
Now,
wives don't tend to like that.
right, exactly. So you're not going to get autocorrect when you're talking on that other device.
Yeah, there's no. Wouldn't that be
There's
terrible if there were?
Yeah.
Wait, I didn't say that.
So
Okay. All right. We got. Oh, Angela's going to pray for me. Thanks so much.
boy,
Yeah.
me too. You are.
Oh, and Charles, I'm not. How could I be a good man when you're such a good man? That's what I want to know. God bless you all. We got to get out of here. John Loftman
Yeah.
has much work to do, but again, remember,
Only God is good.
you can send out. You can have John at your kid's school.
Yeah, Sky Guy John, Jon is spelled John, Sky Guy John at gmail.com, and ask me to come to your school, Lorraine County, Lake County. Thanks so much.